right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Crypto 101 podcast. I'm your co-host, Bryce. As always, joined by my good buddy, Brendan Veeman. Brendan, how are you doing, my man?
I am doing great. I am feeling that bullish breeze in the air. The crypto market is looking good. But no, I really am doing great. I'm loving the way that the market's moving. I'm loving everything that's kind of going on, and excited for this podcast that we got in store.
Likewise, man. I first heard about Redstone maybe a couple months ago. They were raising some money. There was some talk between some of the hedge fund guys. And so Redstone burst onto the scene, doing DeFi oracles, and really just an incredible team. So we brought on the co-founder and COO, and I apologize for the mispronunciation. I'm going to give my best shot, Marcin Kazmierczak, who is the co-founder and COO. I'm getting a round of applause from him over there. Marcin, how are you doing?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Really good job on pronunciation. I'm doing fantastic, calling from Warsaw, Poland. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. And I've been to Warsaw. When I studied abroad, and we did a little a weekender over in Warsaw. And I actually really liked the town. We did that, and we did Poznan as well. And I remember learning about, I think it was the crying queen, the ghost of the queen that lived there and haunted the city. Very enchanting town. How's the crypto scene in Poland?
Growing. So as we will unveil later, I'm also organizing a conference and hackathon over here at ETH Warsaw. And the main goal is to grow the crypto and DeFi scene here in Poland. I would say right now it's mainly around developers because we have excellent engineers, but increasingly also the go-to-market people, because I believe the mix is important, that we don't only have neither only tech people nor only BD people. There has to be like a balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the best conferences are always, at least in my opinion, because I'm more on the BD side, biz dev, you're doing the marketing and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the developers they're coding and they're, deep in it. But I always found the best conferences are when you have a little combination of both. You get to learn from the devs who are smart enough to be able to break it down into simple terms that the BD guys could understand. The BD guys, and they go talk to the devs and they say, here's what we actually need. Here's what the customers are demanding. Let's build this and enough of the other stuff. So it seems like right now, we're kind of coming out of a bear market cycle where there's been lots of new developments. Folks, ever since, the market topped out in November 2021, folks who were fast money here just for a quick flip, they're gone. They got washed out in the 80-90% drawdowns across Bitcoin and altcoins, but the builders remained. And so for the past couple of years, we were calling it a builder's market. And what we have now, which I think Redstone is a great example of, is people who were builders during that period, and now you are coming to market. So we want to learn about kind of your story, the story of Redstone in particular, a little bit about how you guys came up with the genesis of the idea, maybe how you guys navigated the bear market and remained confident, and then came out the other side raising, good sums of money and having some incredible products in a strong team.
Of course, happy to. So about myself, I joined crypto scene in late 2017. So I started like December. So that was like ICO boom. I saw the first bubble to burst over there.
2017 was a good year.
I wrote my bachelor thesis in 2018 about blockchain and Bitcoin because I got excited about the technology. I graduated quantitative methods in economics, so very much aligned with tokenomics and basically creating monetary policy out of your computer, which is super, super interesting. Then started working in one of the crypto blockchain companies that unfortunately went bust, and I didn't get 3 months of salary. So that was like a pretty hard start. Then went to work in Web2 World as a PM in Google Cloud. And in 2020, my good fellow Jacob Wojciechowski reached out to me with an idea of an innovative Oracle design where you don't need necessarily to burn money on pushing data on chain, like in a traditional Oracle model popularized by Chainlink. And I had little hesitation, joined him Then in 21, we did our pre-seed raise. In 22, our seed, and now in 24, our Series A round. And we are growing very fast. And as you mentioned, out of the builder market, right now we are focusing a lot about adoption, what people actually want to receive and are excited about. Throughout the bear, I would say we managed to do two things brilliantly. One is to keep the team small, so we didn't have much burn, rather like very dedicated people, agile team that could execute fast. And the second one is we launched our first alpha version of mainnet in January 2022, and then the mainnet version, the final one, in January 23. So actually, post this bearish first sentiments, we're ready to go and conquer the market.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Oracle space is a fascinating one because we say oracles, the average person probably uses them every day, especially companies. But I still feel like the average investor kind of overlooks it, right? Maybe it's not the most flashy, exciting things. People go, oh, well, I can whip up a new form of AI, or I can, fill in the blank. There's a hot new crypto game, or there's a meme coin. And that can be really flashy and in your face. But when it comes to the subject of oracles, it is of the utmost infrastructure and importance when it comes to the crypto market. And that's what I want everyone to kind of walk away with from this episode is understanding the crucial roles that oracles play. So I think what better person to have explain that than you? How are we and institutions and companies and projects, how are we using oracles and what really is their role when it comes to the crypto space?
Thanks, a really good one to start with. So oracles are fundamental for DeFi. I would even claim that no DeFi protocol beside like traditional DEXs like Uniswap would operate to its capacity without oracles. So historically in the past, okay, what oracles are? Oracles are infrastructures that deliver data feeds, various types of data. Currently, it's mainly price information about both the traditional and crypto assets so that the DeFi protocols know how to value specific positions. So if you create a borrow position on a lending protocol or like a perp position on a perpetual DEX, or you borrow stablecoin, for example, from Liquidity or MakerDAO, so that the protocol actually knows what's the value of the collateral you're locking and also what's the value of the position you're borrowing, right? So the ratio can be kept efficiently. But in general, oracles are delivering data feeds. It can be also other types of data. Historically, before 2018, 2019, protocols were doing it themselves, but it turned out to be a very easy single point of failure, either not to maintain it well or for a hacker to create a manipulation that is very lucrative. Therefore, roughly in 2020, Chainlink got very well adopted in the DeFi space. They did a really good job popularizing some of the good practices, creating like oracles. And right now, I would say there are a couple of very reasonable and solid players on the oracle market. Naturally, Chainlink is still the leader, but we as Redstone in 2024 are the quickest growing oracle and trying to deliver what the market is actually asking for.
Yeah, I mean, we've all heard the saying, right? Knowledge is power. I think we can kind of tweak that and say data is power in a scenario like this one. And I think it's true. There's so much data that gets processed through blockchain tech. And the cool part is that the vast majority of it is all publicly available. Now, the average person, they're not going to understand what it all means. They're not going to understand how to look through it all. Heck, they're probably not going to, even if they did, they probably don't have the time to sift through it all. And I think that's really where oracles come in here, is that it empowers data and it empowers the users and the projects and businesses for a variety of reasons to really digest that and use that information. And I like what you said, is that you said, hey, we saw this really get adopted mainstream in 2020, but you kind of came in and said, there's a couple of ways that we think that this can be better. You mentioned security. And so I want to hear from you, what are some of those ways that you are tweaking